Welcome to Bedtime Myths, a place where ancient stories drift gently through the night, where heroes walk softly, and where legends glow like candlelight in a quiet room. Tonight, the sky outside sinks into a deep, calm blue. Clouds move slowly. The stars hum their faint, old melodies. And we begin a journey that flows even further back than Hercules. Back to the birth of a boy destined not for glory, but for a quiet kind of courage. This is the story of Perseus, a child wrapped in prophecy, a young man shaped by kindness, and a heart carried gently by the sea. So breathe slowly. Let the night wrap around you, and step with me into the myth. In a distant kingdom washed by ocean wind, there lived a king named Perseus. He ruled stone walls, tall towers, and fields stretching toward the horizon. But his heart felt empty, for he had no son. One evening, in a dim temple smelling of smoke and salt, he asked the oracle, "Will I ever have a son to inherit my throne?" The oracle's voice drifted out like a cold whisper. "No. But your daughter's son will one day destroy you." The word struck Perseus like thunder, and fear settled into him like winter frost. Fate had spoken, and he trembled. Perseus loved his daughter Danaë, a gentle girl with golden hair and a voice like soft morning light. But fear twists even love. He built a bronze tower. Smooth walls. No door. No window. Only a ceiling open to the sky. A prison disguised as protection. There, Danaë lived in silence. Her days quiet. Her nights drifting between starlight and loneliness. But destiny, ever patient, does not bend to fear. It simply waits. And one night, the air shimmered. A warm glow descended through the open ceiling. A beam of gold, soft and silent. The light gathered, shifted, and took the shape of a man woven from pure radiance. It was Zeus. He did not speak. He simply stepped toward Danaë, placing a hand over her heart. Gentle, warm, divine. A new spark formed within her. A quiet life. A child born from starlight, destined to drift on waves of prophecy. Perseus. When Perseus discovered the baby, fear rose again. Sharp as broken stone. He could not kill them, but he could not keep them. So he placed Danaë and the newborn into a wooden chest, carried them to the shore, and set them afloat upon the restless sea. The chest rocked softly on the waves, a cradle of wood and fate. Danaë held Perseus close. She whispered lullabies into the night winds, and the stars watched silently, as if guiding them through the darkness. Days passed. Nights drifted by, and the sea, gentle, patient, delivered them safely to the island of Seriphos. Fate, it seems, has a soft hand. On Seriphos, a fisherman named Dictys found the chest. His heart was kind, and his hand steady. He raised Danaë and Perseus as his own, and life settled into gentle rhythms. Perseus grew beneath warm sun and ocean skies. He learned to cast nets, to read the tides, to listen to the hush of waves rolling toward shore. He wasn't the loudest boy, or the strongest, but he learned patience. He learned gratitude, and a calm courage slowly formed within him. The kind that doesn't shine, but glows quietly. A courage born from kindness. Life on Seriphos moved slowly, like waves brushing the shore. Morning smelled of warm salt and drifting sea foam. Fishermen pushed their boats gently into the water, their songs rising and falling like calm tides. Perseus grew up in this rhythm. He learned how to mend nets under the soft shade of olive trees. He chased tiny crabs along the sand, laughing with a joy so light it felt like wind. And in the evenings, he sat with Dictys near a small fire, listening to quiet stories carried from distant islands. Seriphos was simple, peaceful, and full of small, tender moments that shaped his heart. He learned compassion not from lessons, but from watching Dictys give away fish to the hungry, and from seeing how gently his mother smiled at strangers. These moments settled into Perseus like soft pebbles forming the base of a river. Steady, grounding, quiet. As Perseus grew older, island children liked him. Not because he was strong, but because he listened. He listened to their stories, their small worries, their dreams of leaving the island one day. Sometimes he helped fishermen pull heavy nets from the sea, struggling but smiling, his feet slipping in the surf. Other days he walked alone along the cliffs, feeling the wind brush gently through his hair, wondering who his father was, and why the sea always felt like it knew him. He didn't know destiny was already watching. He didn't know gods whispered his name in the wind. He simply lived with a heart unhurried, never seeking greatness, never imagining the world would change because of him. But destiny often chooses the gentle. But peace rarely lasts forever. Polydectes, the ruler of Seriphos, Dictys' brother, was a man hungry for power and beauty. He wanted Danaë, and to remove the young man protecting her, he set a trap disguised as celebration. At a feast, he said, "Every man shall bring me a worthy gift." Perseus, young and honest, replied, "I cannot afford a gift, but I will bring you anything you ask for." Polydectes smiled. A small, cold smile. "Bring me the head of Medusa." The room fell silent. Even the sea breeze paused. Medusa, the Gorgon whose gaze turned living beings into stone. No hero had returned from her lair. Still, Perseus nodded. Not because he wanted glory, but because he believed a promise was sacred. And that quiet courage carried him into the night. That night, the island was unusually still. Even the waves seemed to breathe slower. Perseus sat alone on the quiet shore, knees drawn close, shielding a small lantern from the wind. He thought of his mother, who had already suffered storms larger than the sea. He thought of Dictys, who raised him with hands gentle as drifting sand. He whispered to the night, "I don't seek glory. I only want to keep them safe." The moon spilled soft silver across the water, a calm, reassuring glow. And somehow, Perseus felt that he wasn't alone. That something ancient and kind was watching from the sky. The sea carried his breath away like a promise, and dawn would carry him toward destiny. Perseus walked alone beneath a silver moon, uncertain, yet unafraid. The night felt aware, as if ancient eyes watched from the sky. And they were. A soft glow appeared along the path. Athena, goddess of wisdom, stepped forward. Calm, tall, eyes bright like distant stars. Beside her came Hermes, light-footed, smiling gently. Athena placed a polished shield in Perseus's hands. "Look through the reflection," she whispered. "Never directly at Medusa." Hermes offered a curved blade, a sword that shimmered with quiet power. "Let this guide your hand when fear grows heavy." Perseus bowed, grateful. The gifts felt warm, steady, like the hands of destiny brushing his shoulders. And the night around him softened. Perseus walked beside Athena and Hermes beneath a sky dusted with stars. Athena's presence felt like standing near a quiet fire. Warm, clear, steady. Hermes moved lightly, as if the ground welcomed him with every step. They didn't rush. They walked as though guiding Perseus into the pace of destiny itself. Athena spoke softly. "Courage is not loud. It is the quiet choice to keep going. Hermes added with a small smile. And the quiet choice to accept help when gods offer it. Perseus nodded, feeling something gentle open inside him. Not pride. Not fear. But readiness. The night around them shimmered, as if the world was listening. Perseus traveled far. Across deserts humming under moonlight. Through forests where ancient spirits whispered between leaves. And over mountains glowing with the first breath of dawn. His steps were never rushed. He moved with the same quiet patience he had learned by the shore. At last, he reached the land where the Gorgons slept. A place still as stone. Haunted by the silence of those who had looked into Medusa's eyes. The moon hung low, pale and watching. Perseus held the shield before him, breathed in slowly, and stepped into the darkness. Here, our story rests. Perseus stands at the doorway of destiny. Not a warrior blinded by pride, but a gentle soul holding courage like a small flame cupped between his hands. Beyond him lies shadow, silence, stone. But tonight is not the night of battle. Tonight is a breath before fate. A quiet moment before the next step. So let your eyes grow heavy. Let your thoughts loosen. Let Perseus's calm heart settle your own. Next time, we walk with him into the lair of Medusa. But for now, sleep beneath the soft myths of the ancient world. Good night. Dream softly.